Welcome back to my book channel. My name is Lady Lauren Explorer, and today is going to be a great day. I have a enemies to lovers bully romance featuring a plus size heroine, and it's by Ashley Jade, and it's the Ruthless Knight. And this is from the Royal Hearts Academy, where all of the books are standalones besides 3 and 4. But this is a standalone. Just letting you know. It's an interconnected standalone. But before we get into this, how are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. It's like 7 in the morning over here, so I just needed to get up and do this video. Well, actually, is it 7? Is it? Or is it like 8 something? I don't know. Sorry. Oh, no, it's 7:55. Okay, so let me talk about this book. So I gave this book 4 stars. Let me just get off the bat. I gave this book 4 stars. Well, actually 4.5. But, like, thinking about it, 4.5 is great. It's not a 5 because there's certain things in this book I just did not like, or I had, like, weird feelings about. So, in this book, we are following Sawyer and Cole. Sawyer is our plus size heroine who, when I say plus size, I mean, like, she was, like, 204 pounds, and like me, I'm like 190 something, so made me feel a certain way. I'm like, okay, and people are saying she's fat, and that's like literally what they say. They say that she's fat, like fat. They call her oink oink. They call her a pig. They call her a cow. They moo. It's a lot. Like, I suffered from like, oh my gosh. I went through bulimia and anorexia when I was in high school or secondary school, and this just brought back a lot of like painful memories of me just trying to fit into my cheerleading uniform. I was 121 pounds for 2 years because I made myself like that. If I went over, I definitely was doing things to make myself go the same weight. And if I was under, I thought I was too skinny. And so then I would eat a lot to make myself go back. And it was just like a repeating cycle of eating a lot to then not eating. So this was crazy. But Sawyer has this love-hate relationship with Cole because, as we find out, Cole has this unequivocal attraction to Sawyer, and he doesn't understand why. He feels like he should be the only person to make her feel uncomfortable. So when anyone else kind of does it, it makes her embarrassing, like it humiliates her and all that kind of stuff. He tries to find ways to circumvent that. Like, I give you an example. Some cheerleaders took her clothes when she first came into school on the first day, and so she had to walk out of the girls' locker room in a towel, and so then everyone just mooed at her, and he didn't. He walked to the wall where the fire alarm was and pulled the fire alarm. She ran back into the girls' locker room and waited for her mother to come out with clothes, new clothes, because she doesn't know where her old clothes was. But when she walked out of the girls' locker room to go see her mother, there was a varsity jacket with CC on its tag. And that's when she realized that Colton was the person who pulled the alarm, and also the person who gave her this jacket so she could cover up. So he does like things like that. But like you won't know until like you're in the middle of the story, because sometimes like he is like very, very bullying, and he does things that like you're just like, why? Like, this is an extreme when it comes to like you bully the person you like. This is extreme. But this is told in both their point of views. So we love that. And we get into the mind of him, even though sometimes I still don't understand why he's doing it. But I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. But Sawyer keeps going back, and she understands him on a more real level. But the bullying in here is a little crazy. Even he bullies her when they're like fake dating, which is another trope in here, fake dating. But that trope doesn't happen until like 300 pages in, because this is a thick one. This is 590 pages. So yes. And he's only doing this because of a bet. And she finally figures out the bet and all that kind of stuff. But there's so many like great and like good points in here that it kind of overshadowed my negative feelings on how everyone is treating her. Even her parents are treating her like just because she's big, she won't get any love from anyone who is slightly attractive. Her mother is a B, like wholeheartedly a B. I didn't like her dad at first, but then he grew on me because he then understood the program, you know? Her mom doesn't, and that's why she's a B. I'm just saying, like, ooh, she's more wholesome than me, because if I found out that my mom only cared about me, not because I made a perfect grade on my SATs, not because I'm valedictorian, not because I've been keeping straight A's while my older sister has been B's all her life, but she cried when I was like skinny and saying that I'm so perfect. And then all of a sudden, when whatever happened to me, says that I don't think it's because of what you did. I think it's because you were big, and I knew your health problems were gonna like get you down. That's why you should have been skinnier, been on that diet. I, you know, we're not having this conversation. Like my mom wouldn't, first off, she would never do that to me. Never. When I was like in my phase of going through my bulimia, my mom thought something else. And then when she found out that it wasn't what she thought and it was actually an eating disorder, she was like buying me things that I would eat. It's bad, but it's good. But she was on the program. She didn't want me to be unhealthy, even though I looked skinnier. She wanted me to be healthy, eating, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, her mom is a B. Okay. I just had to get that out because I was just like, no. Sawyer is so much better than me. Because even in that hospital bed, I would have fought my mom. Just saying. But yeah. So this was good. It's a slow burn. Well, not slow in a sense of like they're not sexually attracted to each other until like the very end, but nothing like really sexually happens until around 300 when they're fake dating. There are things that happen sexually in the beginning, but it doesn't like come back up for a while. So there are like, I don't know, like touching privates. That happens a few times in like the first 200 pages, but none of the like actual sexual acts happen until around 300, 400 pages. So just like keep that in mind. It is kind of a slow burn because they actually don't get together, like together, not fake dating until the very end. But it just builds up a lot of tension because like he is very like in the beginning he's horrible. Like I admit he's horrible. But then you start seeing even in his point of view, it skews you a little, but then like when you get back to Sawyer's point of view, it just like brings you back to like not liking him. But then you get to points where like he is actually defending her and he doesn't care how big she is. Like even when people who are close to him, like his siblings, are like saying like he shouldn't date her and all that kind of stuff, and he's just like, but why? And then they're like, because she's, and then he's like, oh, is it because you don't find her attractive? I do, so why does it matter? Like he is like very big on her, like just her, and no one else seems to get that. Like he is a plus 15, I'm guessing, from what the book describes him as, and that all the women who like him describe him as. And they're trying to figure out why would a plus 15 want to be with a big girl who is like a 5, because that's what Bianca said. She was a 5. And so I'm just like, well, I've seen a whole bunch of mismatched couples who look great together, but you wouldn't expect them to be together, but it's okay. And why does it matter to you? Like, I was just, and that's like actually like my really big hiccup for this one. And that's why I didn't get 5 stars, because of how they treated a plus size girl who, if I really want to say this, she's 5'8" and over, well, she was 204. I'm like 5'6.5", and I'm close to 200. And I don't consider myself a big girl. So I don't know where the plus size is coming into this, unless I consider myself plus size. And I guess I don't, because I can fit in a size 10. And I don't consider that plus size. She could fit in a size 14. And I'm just like, what? It's just like a lot. And I was just not getting it with how all of our people were treating Sawyer because she was plus size. And when she was going through her losing weight phase, I felt so bad. So bad. So the trigger warning is eating disorders, because that took me back. I did cry on some parts because of like the bullying and what Sawyer felt like when this stuff was happening. It just felt horrible. But yeah, 4.5 stars. I'm not going to read the other books because the next 2 books are Bianca's, and I don't really want to read Bianca's. And I don't want to read the first book because I actually already got what the first book was about in this book. And it was a happy ending. So, but I will say that he is definitely a broken hero, and there is a whole bunch of dark trauma with him, because he has some demons in his life and his past trauma that he needs to talk about and understand that whatever happened in that situation wasn't his fault, even though he thinks it is his fault. It might have seemed like it was his fault because he pushed that person to a limit, but that person did what they did themselves. And so, yeah, you have to deal with that, because like that's an S, like wholeheartedly, just like an S. And that was a very close member of his family. So just keep that in mind. And then he has like survival trauma. It's just like a lot from him. And that's why he's the way he is. And that's why Bianca's the way she is. And that's why Jace, their older brother, is the way he is. So a lot of things happen, and if you read it, you'll find out. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I don't know what I am going to read next. I'm probably going to do like a reverse harem or something. And it's a short one. It's going to be a series, but it's probably going to be short. But yes, I hope you all enjoyed this. My name is Lady Lauren Explorer, and I will see you all in my next video. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye!